Okay, so it's March 18th, 2026, and it is currently 7:23 a.m. And I'm documenting this because on March 16th, 2026, there was an email that I had to send on my behalf because there was a breach in my privacy with the Oklahoma Finance Agency. I've been homeless in Oklahoma for the past going on 4 months, and I left my home state in Kansas City, Missouri because I was being gang stalked, harassed, and I fled from domestic violence. I was being targeted in Kansas City, property damage in Kansas City, stalking in Kansas City, you name it, I went through it. There was nothing left for me there. I fled to Oklahoma because I am Creek, I am a Native American, and I am, here to just, start a new life for me and my children. I'm back to reclaim my heritage and be where I belong, be in the space that my ancestors built up, which is in Creek Nation, which is Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying? But since I've been here, it's been hell. I know my ancestors have my back, but it's been hell. And the Muskogee Housing Authority, they didn't feel like doing their job. Kansas City, they stalled me up when I was living in another domestic violence shelter. And then when my case finally got ported to the Oklahoma Finance Agency, the lady named Elizabeth, which was the portability specialist, when she got my case file, she completely ghosted me from February the 3rd, 2026 until March 3rd, 2026. In between that time, I knew that my shelter stay was getting ready to end at the place that I was at, which is called Help in Crisis in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, because they were very, I don't know if they were racist or what, but when I was in that place, they called CPS on me for no reason. They gave me a hard time in that place, and they were mad because I had, ancestor altar up. They did room checks every day. It was bad. So I ended up having to get kicked out of there. They did not give me any grace, any type of extension or anything like that, despite other women being there for a long time. Other women that didn't even have kids. And so me and my kids, they kicked us out on the street, literally. So, Indian tribe that I'm not gonna name in this video, they came and they tried to help me, but they tried to put me in a hotel that was like not safe. So I left and I began to pay for hotel rooms on my own. Well, I had asked for a reasonable accommodation because I am disabled and I receive VAWA. I'm a VAWA recipient. That's VAWA, okay? Violence Against Women's Act. Since I am a VAWA protected recipient, I asked for a reasonable accommodation to help me get into safe housing. That way I didn't have to, keep bouncing around from place to place, because my safety was still uncertain, and it's still uncertain at this point until I get into safe housing. So I requested the reasonable accommodation, and my caseworker ghosted me, and I tried to CC her boss, and I got nothing back in return. Literally, the Oklahoma Finance Agency just neglected me no matter what I did, no matter what I said, and I was compliant throughout the whole program. I submitted every single document they asked for, all documentation, met every single deadline, everything, and I didn't hear anything back from them. And when I requested the reasonable accommodation on February the 3rd, right before my caseworker, right before she ghosted me, she knew that my out date was on February the 6th, 2026, and she sent it purposely to the wrong address, knowing that I was getting ready to have to leave the shelter that I was staying in. She sent it to an invalid address, which would have made me miss the deadline completely hadn't I found out on February 18th that she did what she did. So that was a week, maybe two past time, for me to be able to put that request back in to get it in quicker. I found out about it. I drove an hour back to Tahlequah from Tulsa, and I got it in, and I got denied for the reasonable accommodation. So I get into a place after my last hotel stay. I get into a shelter where I'm currently at, and they asked for more paperwork because they prematurely denied me the reasonable accommodation on March the 3rd. That was exactly a whole month later after I heard from my case manager. They prematurely denied me the reasonable accommodation. So I turned in my paperwork, and my caseworker turned in my paperwork and everything like that. And then finally I hear back from Elizabeth. And, you know, here at the shelter, I signed a release of information for Elizabeth to talk to, for my case manager here at the shelter to talk to Elizabeth at the Oklahoma Finance Agency. But they ended up talking to each other and completely excluding me from the conversation. Completely. When they talked on the phone, I was not allowed to be there. They were emailing each other without CCing me in on the conversation. And then the case manager here at the shelter ended up using a personal email address to email the Oklahoma Finance Agency case manager that was dealing with my case. That's a breach of confidentiality, because when you're emailing, it's supposed to be from agency to agency. That way it's in the system, what's being said, what's being talked about. But my information, I don't know what happened to it because it was used with a Yahoo email address. So I addressed this, and now there's uncertainty ahead for me. On March the 16th, I brought this to the attention of the board of directors at the Oklahoma Finance Agency in regards to the negligence, the lack of due process, the violation of my rights, the fact that they denied my reasonable accommodation, and because I'm disabled, nothing. They still denied me. And then they ignored the breach of confidentiality. They completely ignored that too. And I CC'd and encrypted the message, and the people here at the shelter found out, you know, what their staff member did, and they began to punish me for it, which is retaliation, basically. They're trying to save face. So today, March 18th, I am documenting. It is 7:30 in the morning, exactly 30 minutes before 8 o'clock. I am going to go in there with my reasonable accommodation letter from the doctor, because they're trying to force me out of my room to be on camera so they can set up a case against me and my children to try to mislabel me as a bad parent. Prior to Monday the 16th, I was a perfect parent. I was compliant, everything. Now I'm being painted out to be this bad person, this difficult person, just having these issues. Mind you, I'm disabled. Mind you, I have a reasonable accommodation. Mind you, I'm VAWA. Mind you, I'm from a different state. I have 4 children who love and adore me. I'm a good parent. And now they're picking on me. So I have to document this, because I'm going to have to go in there and I'm going to record the conversation. I'm going to let her know that she's being recorded, the executive director of this shelter, because she is a foster parent. And I feel like it's an extreme conflict of interest that she's a foster parent, and now suddenly my children, there's scrutiny against me, and there's a certain sudden concern about my children. So the scrutiny, the retaliation, the intimidation tactics, they're up to no good. And just in case they try to be on any type of BS, I have evidence, proof, documentation. Anything happens to me, y'all know what's going on. I'm going to keep on posting every single day until I'm in safe housing. I don't believe they're going to call the DHS people on me, because literally they don't have a reason to. My kids are in therapy. I'm in therapy. I'm taking my medication. I've stabilized myself. I've been being proactive as far as trying to find safe housing. I've been completely doing all of my due diligence and being proactive since I've been in shelter, despite trying to withdraw from diazepam. And so I'm doing all of this, and yet because of a choice that a staff worker made, I'm under scrutiny. And so I'm going in. I'm going to sit down and wait for the executive director to get here. I'm going to be out there at 8 a.m. and I'm going to request that she ask her staff to stop using intimidation tactics against me and my children, because I feel re-traumatized. And I'm going to request my case file, because I deserve to know what's being said about me in my case file, especially when now there's sudden concerns about my children. And my confidentiality has been breached anyway, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to get the rights to my own file and what's being written and said about me. So that's where I'm at with this. Y'all stay tuned. If you can please support me, all you got to do is just like the video, comment, share, subscribe. That would help me out a whole lot. That's all I'm asking for, support. It would really mean a lot to me and my children. Thank you. Please stay tuned and come back for the next video. Peace.